talk about it because it's been very exciting. I've been actually wanting to call you this whole time. I'm like, man, I can't call Jay.
Yeah, we can't talk about stuff off camera or
Save it for them. Save it for it.
That's
but man, I mean, what is your biggest takeaway on? I mean, just major moves. I think we had a lot of big major moves.
Well, hold on. Huge elephant in the building.
Okay.
Man, I was mad disappointed that they let Saquon Barkley go to the Eagles for $13 million.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing that up there. I'm like, what we doing?
That was what I was hoping for the whole time. That should have been the first move, I believe. Now, I went at it with quite a few people online about that opinion because I almost feel like people don't understand how this works. When you are not paying your quarterback, a guy like C.J. Stroud, when you draft a quarterback and you notice that you got a guy who's the guy,
yes.
When you recognize, as soon as you can recognize that, that's when your window opens.
Yeah.
At that point, you have until it's time to pay him real quarterback money to build a team around him and give him an opportunity to win.
And we have the money to do it. That's the other thing I think. It's like you
have the money to do it because you're paying C.J. Stroud only what he got drafted to be paid.
Yeah.
Going number 2 overall gets you. I'm not quite sure. I want to estimate it's about $14 million.
Okay.
Per year, but it could be on the higher, it could be on the low end. It ain't 20.
Yeah. No, it's not.
Quarterbacks now are getting paid $50 and $60 million a year.
Yeah.
You know how many positions you can pay with that extra $30 million? Even if we put it at 20 on the high end, that extra $30 million, there's several positions you can upgrade with that. And so I thought that Saquon Barkley should have been number 1 on that list because Saquon Barkley has been the whole offense for the New York Giants for several years now.
Yeah, but it's a different type of run game. I was going to say Singletary. What about that? Singletary left.
Singletary was good, but I think that's why I'm here with it. Okay. Singletary's his success in our offensive scheme means like a player that's better than him should have even more success. Okay. Now, I saw every game that we was able to get the running game going, we had good offense. But there were several games that we couldn't get nothing going on offense, and it was hard to watch. Even with CJ there, I watched us lose to the Carolina Panthers, who hadn't beat nobody up until that point.
Yeah,
we lost that game, and it sucked because
we couldn't get the pressure off CJ.
We couldn't get nothing going. We couldn't get nothing going on offense and put up points. I sat in a bar with a bunch of New Orleans fans when we played the Saints. Yeah. And although we won that game, it was hard to watch because
especially with Saints fans.
Yes, and we couldn't get nothing going. That game shouldn't have been as close as it was because we're better than them. We were this past season.
I was gonna say I agree and I disagree. I agree because I was definitely all the way in on the Saquon move. I wanted it. I thought it was the best move, but I also backdoored and I thought Tony Pollard was an awesome fit for us as well, with a discount. I think he's a discount from Saquon, and I know that you probably won't agree, but I think it was a great move.
No, I don't agree.
Okay.
Tony Pollard equals Devin Singletary to me.
Yeah, but that's
Tony
why
Pollard would have had about similar success as Devin Singletary. Tony Pollard ain't Saquon. Saquon catches passes out the backfield.
100%.
He makes guys miss because he's used to running without a good line.
Yeah.
You know, he's good in pass block, and he just makes something out of nothing.
Yeah, 100%. But where I was going with it is you got Saquon was my pie in the sky. Right under, I wanted somebody like a Tony Pollard to give him a discount, and we ended up with Joe Mixon, which I think is a great move. Yeah, I think it's a great move. Different runner than Saquon though.
Well, let's go there with it because I thought Joe Mixon was a good one to land on. I wasn't disappointed at the Joe Mixon.
You don't sound convinced.
Well, that's just because Saquon Barkley is significantly better than Joe Mixon. I think Saquon Barkley takes our offense to the next level, but Joe Mixon ain't a bad pickup. Joe Mixon was acquired via trade technically from Cincinnati. I think we ended up getting him just for throwing them a 7th rounder. So he must didn't fit on the books for them, or they didn't plan on re-signing him.
Yeah.
He was getting paid. He's getting paid $5 million this year, but they initially, as soon as they got him, they offered an extension. They got him to sign for 3 more years at $27 million.
Yeah.
So they got him at a discount price. I'm just saying that if Saquon Barkley went to the Eagles for $13 million, I would have been happy going all the way up to $15 million
to get Saquon.
Yes, because we're not spending that money elsewhere until they went and got Danielle Hunter.
Yeah. I think Danielle Hunter was a great ad. another Morton Range boy right there.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Daniil Hunter is an H-Town guy.
Yeah,
Went to
sure
Morton
is.
Range. Daniil Hunter is a linebacker that signed for 2 years at $49 million. He finished with 16 sacks last season for the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah.
And the Texans set their franchise record for sacks last season with 46 total.
Yeah.
So when we talk about getting rid of or letting Grenard walk and Cashman when we replaced them with Daniil Hunter,
yeah,
that sack total could go up, especially with the progression from Will Anderson Jr.
Yeah, he's getting tons of sacks, bro. 87 sack career over all his sacks.
Yeah.
And I think that was crazy. It's only 3 years of single digit sacks.
Yeah.
3 years, that's it. Everything else is 10 plus. That's money.
That's big time.
Yeah. That gives him which I was gonna ask you about this. Is he allowed to wear 99?
Okay. No. Nobody in the H wants to see him with
I know that, but I think
being a Morton Range guy will offer him a lot of leeway. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It'll offer him a lot of leeway.
He's an H-Town baby. I mean,
99 is 99.
What if JJ says he could wear it? He's still saying
well, look, that would be different. But
yeah.
I don't think
JJ's
anybody in
gonna
the
say
H
it,
wants to see that.
Nah,
yeah.
it's gonna be retired.
I don't want to hear he asked JJ for that number.
I don't think he should.
Make
I'm
your
just
own
saying.
lane.
Yeah,
guy.
he should. He should.
You know
That's
what
his
I'm
number. That's why I say who knows. It's just like there's no receivers gonna wear 80 in Houston.
Exactly.
I don't think that number.
That's Andre's number.
Yeah, that number.
And Andre just went into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, one time for my boy.
I don't want to see that.
Yeah,
I don't want to see that. The Texans went on to sign Danico Autry, a defensive end, for this is 2 years at $20 million total. So at an average of $10 million a year, they got defensive end Autry, who's going to replace Jonathan Grenard. Autry had a career high 11.5 sacks in this last season and 12 tackles for loss with the Titans.
Okay.
So the defensive line should be tougher this season than it was last year, effectively, considering that he's an upgrade or at least the same as Grenard.
Okay. I was gonna say that's the love that I love right now is that we got D'Amico Ryans, just one player to come. I know it's CJ Stroud. I know it's us being hot. I understand all that, but guys want to come play here.
Yeah,
that's
it's
dope.
him and CJ.
Yeah,
I don't
think Daniil Hunter comes to Houston without D'Amico Ryans.
Yeah,
that's
a huge point because and D'Amico Ryans, after a season like this, what you do for a coach like that, you go into his office or you call him into the office and you take some names from him. What do you need? Who do you need here in order to make you better? Daniil Hunter showing up. Oh, I need a hometown guy who excels at pressure on the quarterback. And people are gonna embrace as soon as he touched down.
Yeah.
You bring in the Daniil Hunter. There's another situation here where Azeez Al-Shaair, a linebacker, was signed for 3 years at $34 million, and a lot of people are high on Azeez Al-Shaair. Big point about this guy. He's one of D'Amico Ryans' guys. He's a D'Amico Ryans guy. This guy, number one, finished 5th in tackles this past season, 5th overall. Out of all defensive players, was 5th in tackles. So he finds the ball and he tackles the player with the ball. But this guy is noted to have also played under D'Amico Ryans while he was in San Francisco.
Yep.
So you get a guy like that, maybe everybody don't know what he means and the impact that he has, but you do because it don't always show up on the stat sheet.
Yeah.
You know what he brings to the table because you was there with him. He's likely a leader, of some sort. He likely does things right, has the right approach to the game.
I think, you got to put the right people in the right positions. And I actually do think that Cal McNair's done a great job at that because he let Nick Caserio do his thing. And I think he also let D'Amico Ryans do his thing. And I think D'Amico Ryans went into Nick Caserio's office and said, hey, we're going to adopt this buying into the defense. Our defense looks great. I think that we're doing great on that side.
Well, I fully agree with you.
Everybody's got a mesh. That you have to put the right puzzle pieces in there. And I do think that for a while we were mad about Nick Caserio. Then we were mad about Jackie. What's his name? Easterby or whatever. We were mad about him.
No, it was Deshaun Watson that had people up in arms about
exactly vital pieces. That's why I say CJ Stroud is our guy. On and off the field, that dude is. I can't say anything bad about him at all. And I think that's a big deal for us. Those pieces all need to line up. CJ Stroud might come in the office and say, I want these players, but he's also not tripping about not getting these players. Yeah. He's going to go out there and ball.
You want to hope so, because CJ was real close to landing Saquon Barkley on his own.
Yeah.
So that was a big deal.
Brought Tank Dell here. I was going to say that's another thing is he brings players here. He says, I want him here. I don't know if we did that for Deshaun, or maybe we didn't talk about stuff like that because we went and got him. Like maybe we just weren't all in on Deshaun, which
well,
it is
and
what
also
it is.
there was Bill O'Brien here. Bill O'Brien was trying to be Bill Belichick, and ultimately that didn't work out, and it's not working out for Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick outside of Tom Brady. Jeff Okudah was signed. The cornerback was signed for 1 year at $4.75 million. So this is like a prove it deal.
Okay.
Jeff Okudah. I didn't write down who he played for last season, but Jeff Okudah, people should remember him because he was taken number 3 overall in the 2020 draft.
Okay.
Year of the pandemic. What happened is when a guy's taken number 3 overall, you think really highly of him. He definitely has talent. But in 2021, he suffered an Achilles tear that may have derailed his production up to this point. So right now, he's on a 1 year prove-it deal. If he can help make us better, this guy could hit the jackpot. Like Tyrann Mathieu did the year he was here. And eventually hit the jackpot based on what he did here going to Kansas City.
Yeah, we definitely need lockdown corners. The league demands it with the receiving core that you go up against.
They brought back the veteran Desmond King too, who played well in his own coverage. I thought he was real well at covering his areas. You know what I mean? I also took note that we did re-sign Dalton Schultz, which I know you were high on him.
Love me some Dalton Schultz.
I didn't take no extra notes because we extremely familiar with Dalton Schultz. Dalton Schultz is one of CJ's guys now.
He's a blanket. I think he's that blanket. He's the guy that goes out.
And you know, my cousin Trent was real critical of him too. But I think as long as he improves his ability to catch or decreases his drops, I think he'll be doing just fine. Within 3 years.
Watch this.
You know what I'm saying? Within 3 years, we should get that. Now, something else happened just a day or two ago.
I know you want to talk about this movement with the trades.
Yeah.
I've been waiting to get there, man.
Well,
I know that's a big deal.
Yeah. Well, I think it was a good trade.
It was a great trade.
So the Texans traded the number 23 overall pick in this draft, which is a first round pick that originally belonged to Cleveland. So we may have gotten it in the Deshaun Watson deal.
Yep.
Because our pick was like number 27, number 28 because of how well we did.
Yep.
So trading that pick to be able to grab Will Anderson like we did last season seems like it was real beneficial because we ended up getting the number 3 overall pick at that point.
Yeah.
And it has cost us the 27th pick in this year's draft. So kudos to them. When you do as well as we did, you have really good reason to trade out of the first round.
Yes. Well, they also too. So it was a 23 and a 232 pick. So a first and a seventh.
And a seventh.
And we get same draft. We get 42.
A second rounder.
Yeah.
Which means we should have 2 in this pick.
But we got a loaded receiving draft. Loading receiver.
Yeah, which means that if their target was a receiver or is a receiver, we'll know next month.
Yeah.
If their target is a receiver, then bravo.
We know
because
it was.
You'll find
they were
that
talking
guy
about Keenan Allen.
Yeah,
They were going
They wanted Keenan Allen.
Yeah,
I saw that.
And that's what I wanted. Remember, I said that I do like Nico Collins. I love Tank Dell. Noah Brown, cool, but we need a dynamic. I wanted a Mike Evans or someone like that.
I like Noah Brown, but he was just the injuries, man.
Super mid.
He's Will Fuller.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
God.
Up to this point, he on a prove it.
Without the highlights, at least Will Fuller would streak down the field and catch a touchdown every once in a while. I'm like,
Will
and then pull a
at this point in
hand.
his career is dropping the ball that going down the field. Will Fuller used to beat everybody down the field and drop the pass.
Yeah.
But he got better from that. That's neither here nor there. The Texans ended up getting back in return a second rounder for this draft and the second rounder for next year's draft.
Yep.
And turned that 7th rounder that they traded for this year into pick number 188, which I believe is around the 5th round.
Yep.
For this year.
It's still gonna get some good. You'll get some good talent at that pick.
Yeah, at the 5th round, you can find somebody, especially if you've done your homework. This is all about doing your homework. Guys get drafted in the 5th round that shouldn't have been drafted in the 5th round all the time.
Yeah.
They should have went in round 2 and 3 in a lot of cases.
Yeah, and I think that's great. I think the Texans, which being a Texans fan, we love them, but I think they actually were very methodical in planning and having a plan and a method and executing it. And even though you have as a fan going, man, why are they not signing Saquon?
That's what I was thinking early. That's what I was thinking early because he should have been the top. If he went for 13, we could have got him for 14. But even if we had went to 15, if we're not paying CJ 60 and 50 mil, we can afford it.
Yeah.
And then some. We still could have grabbed all these players we got. But on the flip side, my original opinion about Texans free agency up to this point is different now that the everything's starting to come around whole. The defense should be better.
Yeah.
The defense should be better this year than it was last year. And the offense has made improvements. And you want to think 1 year in this Kyle Shanahan style offense, the second year for every quarterback in this offense has been significantly better than the first. It's hard to be significantly better than what CJ did, but again, some of these games we couldn't move the ball. This year should be even different because they've had a whole season to be in it, an off season to study it, some upgrades around the whole team. Should be better.
Mediocrity is done. I think it's done in Houston as a Houston Texans. I'm hoping that CJ Stroud is leading this team to a spot where it's like, hey, we're not taking the conference champs. We're not taking that no more. We're going for the bowl. We want the shit.
I would be happy if next year we increase to at least 2 playoff wins.
Yeah.
If we can get 2 playoff wins, that shows that we're building on what we did. And the third year, ain't no more rookies. Ain't no more young Stingleys, young Petries, young CJs. It's game time.
CJ came in. He ain't been a dog since the
CJ
start.
is that dude, bro.
Yeah.
He got so much swag too. He been all over TV. He was on podcasts with Michael Parsons. Played in the Celebrity All-Star game. CJ is the guy. And
he holds poise on both sides. Like literally poised in the interview. And funny too. I like it.
Even though when he thanks God, they edit that shit out for some reason.
Man, one time.